Heads up. Hello everyone, Dana 14th Prime here. Today I want to do a little shopping with you guys. I'm way behind on getting in various Hot Toys pre-orders that I've been talking about through my heads up videos about how I want to evolve the collection going forward. I've been waiting for those coupons from Sideshow and they're just not sending them. I've gotten a handful of figures this year, even very recently here, the Boba Fett. You know, they usually sometimes would stick those $20 off coupons on the shipper box. Haven't seen one in like probably the last 4 or 5 figures. So I've been waiting on those and they're just not coming. And that's why I'm so far behind. So need to put in some big order here. We're gonna have a little fun, you know, talk about some of the figures coming out that I'm interested in. Put in probably a sizable order, so heads up on that. Not meant to be a flexing video. You know, we all sort of pay for the hobby in different ways, and you know that's your business. But you know, I'm way behind, so I think we'll need to put in a pretty sizable order here. But let's jump into it and just kind of look at what's going on. I'm out here on Sideshow. Link in the description below. I'll link this kind of filter here where it's basically got all of the what's new for Hot Toys in sort of the chronological order of how they've been announced, right? So you got the Throne, Shuri. Both pretty cool, but I'm not really going into Black Panther here. One thing here, definitely the Mark 50 accessory pack. So I want this because I've said, you know, I want to go into the Infinity War line fairly broad. I'm not going to do it all. I'm not a completist, but I want to go probably broad enough that I'll have a handful of figures. And I think this is really cool. And I think, I hope this is something Hot Toys gets a bit more into. I like this idea of accessory packs, really applied to any figure, you know, maybe different head sculpts, different facial expressions, different accessories. I think it's a cool idea. So maybe this will be a bit of an experiment, you know, test run for Hot Toys in that regard. Because I'd like to see them do more of this. And, you know, maybe that could even be a win-win for collectors. You know, it could mean cheaper base figures. And then if you want to really upgrade the figure with more accessories and head sculpts and stuff, then you buy accessory packs, right? It could be a win-win for the collectors and for Hot Toys. So we'll see where it goes. But for now, this is just an obvious need for the Mark 50 because this nanotech just did so much stuff, right? So 243 bucks, really end of 19 into early 20. This is kind of all the stuff. Infinity War just dropped on DVD here the past week or so, so I've definitely watched that already a couple, 2 or 3 times, maybe 4, no, maybe 3. But yeah, all these goodies, which are really, really cool. So gotta have this. So we're gonna put that in the cart. Okay, go back. And let's go back again. So we don't have to go too far into this list to drop our first couple $100. Mark 7 here. It's, you know, I said I'm not going to get it, and I'm not. You know, it would need to be some sort of deal for me to pull the trigger. I like the idea of having the 500th, you know, MMS figure. I had my eye on what that would be, but sort of how they're delivering it is not really something I'm into. But, you know, I'll watch it. Maybe it'll get promoted. Who knows? But for today, no. Making choices, that's not on the list. Darth Maul, I said I'm going to get this. You know, I'm really into Empire Strikes Back, as I've said. If you watch my Boba Fett video, that's the line I'm going to commit to, but I'm kind of cherry picking to the sides. I've got Anakin from Revenge of the Sith. I'm going to get Darth Maul here. I've got some Return of the Jedi figures like Luke Skywalker and the Emperor as well. And I'm sure I'll get Darth Vader, Darth Vader, Return of the Jedi. So we'll see, but you know, telling myself mainly Empire Strikes Back, but definitely want to get this. I think it's just a great figure, and very cool. And he's got like these posable eyes and stuff. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to have on the shelf. Different looks, different eye positions you can do, and we all know Darth Maul is a very dynamic character, right? Just with all of that, the Ray Park, just all of that action that he did. But I think he'll be fun to have on the shelf. I'm going to get him with the speeder. Yeah, I think the speeder will be cool. I always go for the upgrades on these. I mean, one thing is if you had the opportunity to go deluxe, I generally say go for it and buy it and pay more, because I think you get more value. And even if I didn't want this, if I decided to sell it in a secondary market, I'd probably get more than the 120 bucks or whatever that they're charging me here. So, I tend to go for value, and I think it's a cool add-on. We don't get a lot of vehicles from Hot Toys, so we want to put that in the cart. Big $400 ka-chunk there on one figure. Hurts a little bit, but we got to do it. Good thing is these things aren't coming out for a while, so we've got time to sort of get the collection organized, get the finances in order. The Spider-Man suit here looks cool. I like what they've done with the head. It's really you don't have the seam and things like that, the way they've done this head. So I think that's cool, and we'll see that on future Spider-Man figures. And I think when they start to apply that on a more traditional type figure, I'll be interested. War Machine, awesome looking figure, awesome looking suit. Super brief in the movie, so he's on the backlist right now. Telling myself I don't want to get it, but it's going to come down a bit to probably how wide I go into Infinity War. But right now he's not quite making the cut, but he's probably the next one that will if I decide to go one more deeper. Quarter scale Darth, no. T'Chaka, no. This concept art Captain America, I've actually already pre-ordered it. I think it's cool. I'll see if I keep it in the collection. I think they've done some nice upgrades to the Chris Evans likeness and facial complexion. I think it looks good. Looking forward to seeing that in future Captain America figures. I think it's a really awesome figure. Just not sure if it's going to have a permanent place in the collection, but I do have it on pre-order. Some of these exclusive, you just gotta kind of decide rather quickly whether you're going to buy it or not. That's still actually hanging around, but sometimes those things don't last long. Got a couple of the Ant-Man figures, which look cool, but they're not making the cut. Deathstroke definitely is already on pre-order. He'll go up with Joker and Batman on a shelf. This Darkseid Anakin is already on pre-order. Again, I'll keep one of the two. So again, sort of a swap out. Effectively doesn't cost you much, if anything, when you sort of swap out a figure. So he's on pre-order. Talked about these in the heads up video, but again, they're not on the priority list for what I want to do with Star Wars. So even though they look great, particularly this Christopher Lee looks really great, just not going to go there. Solo movies, honestly, I haven't even seen the movie yet. I'll catch it on DVD here soon probably and just watch it, rent it, but definitely not interested. Now Doctor Strange for sure, big role in the movie, cool character, and definitely room in the collection to have this guy. And I think they really pack out this kit here, just all these different accessories, all kinds of this magic stuff. A lot of it's small, but you get quite a bit of it. Many hands and things, so it's a nice pack out. He's got the slick hair here. Kind of interesting they did the slick hair, because most of the movie he still really does have the droop going on. There's probably only a couple scenes where it's really all the way back like that, but it does differentiate it from the adds a bit more differentiation from the prior figure. So he's like third quarter of next year. So drop him in the cart, and that's the good thing, is these things, we'll have a nice upfront payment here, but there's still plenty of time to sort things out. I don't do payment plans. I don't really believe in giving people my money before they give me something. So I just do the deposit and then pay upon delivery. And I just manage myself how I'll take care of paying for that. Deadpool, I'm going to hold off. I said I would get it. I still haven't pre-ordered it. It would be a swap out. Again, I already have Deadpool. That's why I'm not too worried about getting this one. It doesn't look radically different, but I'm sure I might get there at some point in time. But for today, it's not really a priority. Keep coming down here. Iron Spider, high priority, already on pre-order. Captain America, high priority. This one here with the weird blade is already on pre-order. And we come down here. Black Widow is not really a priority. Thanos is, of course, and I'm kind of hesitating. It's he'll likely go on sale at some point. I don't know, these big expensive villain figures, they tend to end up on deal at some point. The issue is some point might be a year or more after it's released, right? And I don't want to wait that long. But certainly the last Thanos figure that was not of much significance from a movie perspective, Guardians of the Galaxy, I mean, that went on deal. We've seen other big figures like Whiplash, big villain characters go on deal. So I was thinking I might maybe try to be slick and wait for a deal, but on second thought, I just don't have a lot of confidence in terms of when that deal would come, if it's too far out there. So we're going to put him in the cart as well. It looks like he's second quarter of next year. That's a big chunk of cheddar there as well, $376. You can see I'm way behind on sort of the grand plan. Normally I'd just be picking these things off kind of one by one, but I was, like I said, keeping powder dry, hoping to get coupons. They never came. This Obi-Wan looks cool, but again, with the Star Wars plan, he doesn't make the cut and doesn't sort of make my cheat list. Loki, Guardians of the Galaxy. This is a cool set. It's sort of there with the War Machine for me. It's a little bit like, yeah, they're kind of on the fringe there. And it'd be a nice set for the price. But not today, probably. Thor, definitely. I like this Thor figure. I think it's sweet. And it's not obvious from these pics, but I think in seeing it in some of the Comic-Cons and things like that, I believe this patch comes off and you get a normal head under there. I thought I saw that. Not a deal breaker for me either way. But I thought I saw that with the figure on display. Unless they were using like a Ragnarok head or something I didn't notice. But either way, it's a pickup for me. Looks like a great figure. I like all the technology they've put into it. All the accessories. And the different arms and things like that. So he's a pickup. And let's see here. Of course, we need our Mark 50. And I'll probably end up changing my Iron Man collection a bit. I don't have a lot of Iron Man, but I have a couple, well, just of Iron Man. Actually, I have the Mark 6, which I'll definitely be keeping, but I've got a Mark 3. Maybe that one will go just to make a little bit of space. War Machine wise, I've got Mark 1 and then the Iron Patriot. I intend to keep both of those. Definitely the War Machine Mark 1. So now we've got that one in the cart, right? Yep, there we've got our Mark 50. Big bill here, pushing 2 G's. Okay, please let that be all. It'd be nice to be able to say, yeah, I got out of here for less than $2,000. Let's see. Couple quarter scale figures, more Black Panther stuff. No. World Guard, $200 for a background figure. No thanks. I already have this on pre-order. I think it's coming pretty soon. I think some of these Star Wars are coming. Boba Fett came. Vader's coming soon. I think I've got word that he's maybe not too far away. I can't remember. But he's already on pre-order. Neo, again, would be cool. I love the Matrix movies. So it's cool, but it doesn't really make the collection cut. Superman is already on pre-order. Boba Fett I have already. And the review video is up. Then we just get into more Iron Man stuff. Batman, no thanks. I'm good with my BVS and my Arkham Knight version, as well as I've got an armored version. Vader, he's coming, I think, next week. Empire Strikes Back Vader. And again, maybe I'll swap out a New Hope. I'll have to see and compare the two. Vader might be one of those guys where maybe I keep all 3 of the original movies. I don't know. I'll just have to get them in hand and see. Nothing on Wonder Woman. No one else down here. Let's see. Predator. I'd like to get a Predator. Looks cool. These do look cool. But it's not really something I've focused collecting on. But I've liked some of the movies. Definitely the original one for sure with Schwarzenegger. Some of the sequels haven't been too bad. There's a new one coming out. I think Hot Toys does a nice job with the figures. But haven't pulled the trigger on one, and it's just not a priority for today either. Already got my Anakin, more Batmans I don't need, more Iron Mans I don't need. I've got my Luke. Didn't review him. I've just sort of got him still in the box, actually. I'm just trying to figure out what I'm doing with Star Wars, so you know, when I see the figures that I like Luke, Emperor, some of these guys from movies other than Empire Strikes Back, I'm just buying them, and I need to kind of sort out what I'm going to do. But I think I could display with like the Emperor, this Luke Skywalker, and then Return of the Jedi, Darth Vader could be something that looks cool in a detail shelf, you know, with that throne, maybe crossing blades in front of the Emperor, like that classic scene from the movie. We're down here. Now, this is Empire Strikes Back Leia, but I'm not going to try to go for Hoth. I'm really trying to think more like best spin is probably the route that I'll try to go. I'm not going to collect everything in Empire. I'm trying to keep probably away from all these different variants that they'll do across different scenes. Rocket, nope. You know, unless I do in the Infinity War 2-pack with Groot. Already got my Batman, already got my Joker. Terminator would have been cool, but I didn't pull the trigger on it, and now it's waitlisted, and you know, that's okay. I'm okay with that. Bunch of Star Wars stuff that nobody ever wants to buy. So that is everything. Everything out here on Sideshow in terms of pre-orders and in stocks, and you just seen what I've pre-ordered, what I already have on pre-order, and even what I've got recently. Let's go to our cart. Hey, we did. We stayed under. I feel good. I can sleep easy tonight, you know. Kept it under 2 Gs. Let's recap here. So the Mark 50 accessory kit. I mean, this is over a year out. You're talking end of 19 into early 20. So it's kind of like, you know, I'll spend 25 bucks today and worry about the balance in the future. So I'm fine with that. That's not going to come due anytime soon. Even Darth Maul here is 4th quarter of next year, so he's a ways out there. Doctor Strange, 3rd quarter of next year, so at least a year away. Thanos, more like 2nd quarter, so a little bit closer. Thor, 1st quarter. And Iron Man, kind of 2nd quarter. So all these figures, you're talking like at least 6 months away, probably, at the very nearest. At least for the orders going in today, and many of them stretching out past a year or even more. So, you know, I make my non-refundable deposit of about 200 bucks today. And then these things, you know, they'll sort of come through as they come through, and actually it won't, I'm going to be like dropping $2,000 at one big chunky time, so not going to be that bad. In between now and then, I'll continue to kind of manage out the collection, prioritize things, and who knows, this might end up being a lot of the figures that I end up getting delivered to me in 2019. Because right now, I don't know that I have many things that are going into 2019. Just take a look at that here. Open orders. Anakin Darkseid will come this year sometime. This cap will come this year. Deathstroke, he goes into 19. That cap goes into 19. Spider 19. Oh, 2 spiders. Superman goes into the 1st quarter there, as you see. Emperor soon, and Vader soon. So I already had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I had 5 figures coming into 2019 already, and I'm adding 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more, so that's going to be 10 figures plus an accessory kit. So I might need to do something space-wise, so I may indeed need to make some choices with the collection here. Maybe I can do a collection video once I get a few things done in the man cave, and particularly some deliveries like of those 3A Transformers that are coming soon. But yeah, in terms of what I get for 2019, I think this is probably going to cap a lot of that off, actually. So that's not too bad in that light. Anything I order in 2019 probably is going to flip into 2020. So let's go ahead and move this forward. Proceed to checkout. Check. If I have any reward points, let me see. I want to try to apply those towards the figure that comes first. I've got a rewards penny. I just used a lot of them, yeah, so not many. I think I just used almost all of them on Luke Skywalker, which I just got like relatively recently. So the rest are probably in suspense until they sort of meet the clearance criteria. But you know, $9 is $9. We acknowledge this thing, and we're off. This is taking some time to process here. I don't think it usually takes this long. Maybe I won something. That's strange. There we go. Thank you. Oh, you're very welcome. Thumbs up, buddy. So that's the order. And I'll get $100 in rewards way in the future, because you have to deliver the figure and then wait like 60 days or whatever. So again, you know, thanks for checking in, guys. Just thought I'd do a bit of a different kind of video. Want to talk a bit about Hot Toys, do a bit of a collection video, and also just catch up a bit with pre-orders, coming back relatively recently from vacation myself, and then getting some figures, like I said, and not really continuing to not get any coupons from Sideshow. So need to bite the bullet and just get some stuff in, and then if, you know, some coupons or some things come later, I'm still on the fence on a couple things out there, like Rocket Groot, War Machine in particular. All right, guys, so thanks for checking in. You know, thanks for going on a little bit of tour of what's all out there in the Hot Toys world today, doing a bit of shopping with me. You know what to expect for the channel in the future. All right, guys, see you next time.